Have you ever sacrificed everything for someone, only to discover you were no longer welcome in their life? When my phone buzzed that evening, I expected my son's wedding details. Instead, I read a message that shattered my heart. Dad. Single quotes to come to my wedding. My fiancé doesn't want you there. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I simply replied, I understand. Congratulations. But what happened the very next morning changed our family forever. Stay until the end because this story isn't about revenge. It's about the painful price of forgetting who stood beside you from the beginning. My name is Michael Carter, and I'm 68 years old. For over 40 years, I worked 12-hour shifts running my small construction company. Every brick I laid, every overtime shift I accepted, and every weekend I sacrificed had one purpose: giving my son, Ethan, a better future than I ever had. After my wife, Linda, passed away from cancer, Ethan became my whole world. I paid for the best schools. I paid for college. I helped him buy his first car. When he wanted to start a business, I invested my retirement savings without asking for anything in return. I never kept score because that's what parents do. Then Ethan met Sophia. At first, she seemed kind and respectful. But little by little, things changed. Family dinners became rare. Phone calls became shorter. Birthdays turned into text messages. Whenever I visited, Sophia always seemed uncomfortable. She never insulted me directly. She simply made it obvious that I didn't belong. One evening, Ethan finally announced they were getting married. I was overjoyed. I even secretly booked a honeymoon package, worth thousands of dollars, as my wedding gift. A week before the ceremony, my phone vibrated. It was Ethan. I smiled before opening it, but my smile disappeared instantly. Dad, please don't come to the wedding. Sophia thinks your presence will make some guests uncomfortable. I hope you understand. I stared at those words for several minutes. I read them again and again. My hands shook, not because I was angry, because I finally realized I had already lost my son long before that message arrived. I didn't call. I didn't argue. I simply replied, congratulations. I hope your wedding is everything you dreamed of. Then I quietly opened my laptop. Years earlier, Ethan had asked me to help manage several investment accounts and savings funds that were legally still under my name because I had created them for him while he was younger. That night, I closed every account that legally belonged to me. I transferred my retirement funds back into my personal trust. I canceled the honeymoon reservation. I canceled the luxury apartment deposit I had secretly paid. Everything I had planned as a wedding surprise disappeared with a few clicks. I went to bed without saying another word. The next morning, someone pounded on my front door. When I opened it, Ethan and Sophia stood there. Their faces were pale. Dad. The bank says the accounts are gone. Sophia said the honeymoon reservation was canceled, and the apartment payment disappeared. I looked at them quietly. Then I asked one question. Why would you expect gifts from someone you didn't even want at your wedding? Silence. Sophia looked at the ground. Ethan couldn't meet my eyes. For the first time in years, neither of them had an answer. I invited Ethan inside. Sophia waited outside. I wasn't trying to punish anyone. I wanted my son to understand something far more valuable than money. I showed him an old photo album. Pictures of fishing trips, school graduations, his first bicycle, the day his mother hugged him before chemotherapy. I asked him softly, do you remember who never missed a single important day of your life? Tears filled his eyes. Then I showed him the wedding text again. I wasn't hurt because I lost money. I was hurt because I lost my place in your heart. Ethan broke down crying. He admitted Sophia had pressured him for months to distance himself from me. He thought avoiding conflict would make everyone happy. Instead, he almost lost his father forever. A week later, something unexpected happened. Ethan canceled the expensive reception. He invited our entire family to a simple ceremony. Before exchanging vows, he walked over to me in front of every guest. He hugged me tightly. Then he said, my father built my future. Without him, there would be no wedding today. I'm sorry. There wasn't a dry eye in the room. Sophia also apologized sincerely. She admitted she had judged me without ever trying to know me. Over time, trust slowly returned, not because money fixed everything, but because honesty finally replaced pride. Family isn't measured by the size of a wedding or the price of a gift. It's measured by the people who stood beside you long before success arrived. Sometimes the greatest lesson isn't losing money. It's realizing you almost lost the person who loved you unconditionally. If this story touched your heart, remember this. Never let anyone convince you to forget the people who sacrificed everything for your future.